Welcome to Onesies, a podcast of one season wonders and blunders. My name's Andrew.
My name is Emily.
And the self-immolation continues as we...
This is your pick, friend. Your pick.
As I said, hey, let's watch another ABC show from the same era as all the other terrible ABC shows we watch. It can't be racist and be all about fucking young people.
Yes, episode 2, When Lovers Leap, of going to extremes. There's a so figurative and literal leap in this. Yeah.
They learned lessons from their pilot. Their lessons were less Black people, but wait, no, less Black American people, more Black Native people being saved by white people because they believe in voodoo.
And demons.
Will there be a white guy who constantly goes around saying, I just saw a Black guy over there, and other people go, I don't believe you, because he's talking about a magic Black man on an island of Black people, and nobody else there says, you could have just seen a Black guy. They instead say, I don't believe you. I had bet that this was his dad coming to town and us finding things out during the episode. I thought it might be an animal. Thought there might be a monkey. Wasn't there a monkey last episode?
Briefly.
The monkey wasn't back. There's a baby goat that has no story.
There's a unknown package to an unknown receiver.
Right.
That never really comes back into play.
So yes, we cut the white Australian guy, Kim.
He's not in it very much, yeah.
He's not in it very much. We also cut Erica Alexander. We did give her the opening scene, and it was better than she was at all last episode. However, she then disappears until the very end of the episode, except to be around to play tertiary support to the white male leads.
Yeah. I'm hoping that this works like other shows where there's enough episodes of this where everybody gets a storyline, right? I'm hoping that she has her moment because she's good.
Yeah.
She's pretty good.
Yeah, especially when grading on the scale of this episode, which is called Why Did Joanna Go and Make It? An Object Lesson. Oh, okay. We should just get started because instead I could talk about a fucking red shoe diary scene on the phone about wanting to fuck your boyfriend who got away.
Your ex-boyfriend, yeah.
Your ex-boyfriend.
Oh boy.
Danny with a D.
What else could they have said?
Daniel, Taniel, Manuel.
Saniel? I have no idea. It's very strange. With a D. With a D.
With the D twice.
That was weird. There's a lot of weird shit.
Yeah. Last time I said there was one joke that connected. There are no jokes that connect.
There are no jokes.
Okay. We open with my notes not being in sync.
The kid.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jacob.
Yes. Why don't you talk about my first note when I texted you and said, wow, this is a lot or something is, oh, cool. I need a thesaurus to describe the racism. So we were,
yeah, go ahead.
We were very concerned last episode that they were going to treat the natives of the fictional island of Jantique, this Caribbean island, like it was a 1912 National Geographic documentary. There was that concern. It's probably more like an 1896 National Geographic documentary.
So, it's a simple scene. There's a farm, there's a kid, climbs up to a rooftop.
Yep.
And jumps off. And you hear his mother, presumably his mother. Oh, you silly boy. blah, blah, blah.
She called him a foolish boy.
A foolish boy, sorry,
with
yes.
a certain accent.
Yes.
Would you like
No.
to essay the accent? No.
No.
Okay. We are not professional white audiobook readers. We don't do Caribbean accents. What? It's true. Audiobooks are
What
fucking
audiobooks
weird.
are you listening to?
The ones that I stopped listening to, thank you very much. But yes, they're very weird. But yeah, that's our opening. And then we cut to the opening credits, which features the guy on the beach with the dreadlocks dancing
to
the music in his soul, to the rhythm of his extreme Caribbean soul. I skipped the credits. I
missed the opportunity to. I think maybe I got up for a second and I missed it.
I said, fuck it. No, I'm not doing the credits.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
let's get to medical malpractice, part 1.
Don't we cut to the mail, the post office first?
No, we start with the clinic.
Okay. I forget. I just watched it. I don't remember.
You thought they started with the black actress? No, we're going to start with Joanna Going.
Okay.
She is there with a baby and the baby's mom. Baby. Cute little sick baby. Joanna Going's being very condescending to the mother. As the mother leaves, Carl Lumley is there and he says the mother will be back in a couple days because she didn't understand a word you said.
And she can't read. The instructions that you just gave her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Joanna Going's like, why the fuck wouldn't you have told me that? And a lot of this episode is why the fuck isn't Carl Lumley helping out with Joanna Going instead of causing further trauma to these patients?
Well, and to be fair, what he should say is, don't just assume people can read.
Yeah.
Because even in the United States, I think it's safe to say that you can't just assume people can read, especially in-depth medical instructions or whatever. That's why when you go pick up something at the pharmacy, they ask you if you want to talk to a pharmacist so the pharmacist can tell you. I mean, that's not why, but that's one of the reasons why.
We will also, it's okay because we also find out the woman can't speak English later. She doesn't understand English.
Oh.
Like Joanna Going's like, this is a spoon. And the woman's like,
that's right. Really condescending.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
She's like, no, you keep it. You keep it. Oh, Jesus.
You don't have spoons where you're from.
Why is it everything so much more problematic when I talk to you about it? Like, when I watched it, it was like, watching it
and going, right on, Joanna Going. No. You tell them.
No, when I was watching it, it was like,
sister.
But now it's like, ugh. It's like ratcheted up to 11. It was like a 9 before, and now it's just that much more bad.
You know, you were projecting on Joanna Going. It's okay, dude. I was projecting on Alex when he was berating every person of color he found in. That was bad.
Fix it now. Fix it now. I need my banana daiquiri, and I stole this machine from somebody, and then I broke it, and it's on you now to fix it on my time because I'm from the United States and I'm white. Oh God. Okay. Let's just continue. We can't go off on tangents. I'm going to need a nap.
So yeah, Carl Lumley's like, I don't know. She's too embarrassed to tell you. She didn't want the white lady mad at her.
Yep.
What's up? Okay. Does that come through to Joanna Going and her bedside manner at all? No. Now she goes in to see Jacob and his mom. Jacob's got a demon that's making him do silly things. He didn't break anything, but his finger's the size of a sweet yam. That's just a sprain. Mom says, listen to the doctor, woman.
Yeah.
And then
but there's got to be something else wrong with him because he keeps doing this. He's got a demon. And Jacob is, for the most part, silent. I mean, he doesn't talk a lot in this scene.
I don't think he has any lines in this scene yet. Maybe he nods. He starts by nodding.
Yeah, he's reacting, but he's not speaking. But the perils of spreading Christianity is that, you know, sometimes those old-timey things that we might think in modern times as being outdated are latched onto, and then we make fun of them about it, even though it's what white people brought to them. That's great.
I think the lesson of the last 30 years in, say, comedy has been you create a, space where you can punch down quite effectively, and you've got it all set up for yourself. It's just colonialism. It's entertainment colonialism. Okay, so Joanna Going makes a face about the silly natives, and we cut to the post office.
Okay.
Where Cheryl, played by Eric Alexander, is returning a packet, and we learn their house has no number. They cannot contact the landlord for some reason. We also learn there is another house where all the American students live, but that is not where they live. They live in Animal House. Everybody else lives somewhere else that we have never seen because there are no other students.
Yeah.
And there's no classes this episode either. Everybody has a take-home exam. It's kind
of everyone's got an exam. Yeah, it's weird.
So the clerk and Eric Alexander have this back and forth where they talk about the house. Is it the house on the hill? Yes, it's the house on the hill. Is it the White House? No. Is it the pink house? Yes, it's the pink house. I was waiting for it to be haunted. I was waiting for anything to matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Except that Cheryl lists all the people that live at the house, and the clerk picks up mail that hadn't yet been delivered to them and gives it to her, which sets up one of the subplots.
Yes.
Kind of.
The main subplot.
Is it the main one? I feel like they barely talk about it.
This is the...
I know. I feel like the main plot is Alex running around trying to fix his thing. I don't know. What do I know?
Charlene is studying, and Kim and his goat, and Erica and her quest to find, or Cheryl and her quest to find Jane Margolis. That was the setup, is they have a misdelivered package.
Yeah.
And the post office doesn't give a shit.
And they, in fact, make her take it, which is a little odd. That they have a package, and I expected there to be some kind of setup, like this to be some kind of setup for something in the future. It goes nowhere, folks. It goes nowhere. She storms off with the package, and we see it, I guess, in the next scene, but nothing happens with it.
Nothing.
It is just a package.
Nope.
Hopefully it's doesn't have perishables in it.
Okay. But Erica Alexander is much better in that. Sadly,
yes.
It's one of her.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we cut to the house where I think the next time I texted you occurs, when Alex comes out and says, I think I've got the Caribbean thing nailed. Let me put on my favorite reggae for you.
And then he describes it as, where is it? Guns N' Roses with maracas. I am not a fan of reggae music, but it does not sound like Guns N' Roses.
With maracas?
With maracas.
We can also talk about his Chicago geography later.
Okay, yeah. He does talk about Chicago. You know more about that than I do.
I had to look it up. But yeah, it's pretty funny. His geographical. So he says only one thing is missing. A tall, luscious, creamy...
Can I tell you, I thought he was talking about a woman.
Banana daiquiri. Okay. His lady, which is how he ended last episode.
Mm-hmm.
He ended last episode the sex slave of his professor. The tantric sex toy of his professor lady. She does not appear. She is never mentioned.
She had offered him a daiquiri, and he chose a strawberry before. So I wonder what switched to banana. I love a banana daiquiri. It sounds delicious.
But anyway, he can't make it because he doesn't have a blender.
Yeah.
He's whining about not having a blender. Joanna Going is there, and she's in a bad mood because of the clinic, because she had to help poor people, I think. And then Charlie is freaking out about his exams.
Take-home exam.
Take-home exam.
Exam.
Open book take-home
Open
exam.
book, yeah.
So there's a line that Alex has where he says something is like not being able to blend the ingredients for daiquiri is like having a taco without guacamole. And I was like, is this just written with like vaguely trendy word combinations? Like, are these just like sprinkled in throughout this? Yes, they will be. Because I'm like 1993 or 1992, a taco with guacamole. Like, okay, sure, Jan.
Maybe in Chicago they've got guacamole
That's
tacos.
true. The guacamole tacos at Water Tower Place. Okay. So Charlie got a letter. Somebody has to go to class. Kathleen got the sad letter. Oh, yes. That's the other thing. Alex does a peace out to everybody.
Yes.
In case this needed to feel more like the real world. So then Kathleen got a letter and she's like moping while she reads it. And Cheryl notices. Cheryl got like clothes magazine and she's whining that she wouldn't have the clothes in time to wear them.
That I took a note of too, because she said something about by the time we get it, it'll be the dead of winter. And I'm like, what is winter like in Jamaica? I don't know. This is an honest question. I would just assume it's a tropical paradise.
Hey, fingers crossed for a fucking Christmas episode. Fingers crossed.
There can be chilly times in the morning or at night. Coastal readings average between 71 and 88 in the winter. That's just.
But she need her winter outfit. You can't wear summer clothes in the winter. Okay.
Okay.
So she then says, "You look like you got some bad news. Like you need to like somebody put your Cocker Spaniel to sleep."
Yes.
Could be a dead parent, dead grandma. We will find out that no one has any way of communicating with these students because they didn't sign up for the right phone plan. So then they weren't getting their mail. So this letter could be anything.
Yeah.
But Cheryl makes a joke about it instead.
Yeah, like, could you imagine if she got a letter that, like, literally her grandmother died or something? Like, and you just made that crass
or
joke?
Her Cocker Spaniel had been put to sleep. You don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, it's an invite to my boyfriend's wedding, to which Cheryl says, "Shouldn't that make you the bride?" And then Joanna Going's like, "No, we broke up."
So why do you still call him your boyfriend? Why
not?
not?
Now, while she's sure, Daniel's not just a simple man, I'm sure she's pretty, but she also makes him laugh. She'd have to. Please explain to me the value of being a female doctor. Is the sequel that she quits to go marry some guy? And like, what the fuck is with this characterization of this young person?
We'll find out later, she's a very complex woman, very difficult to read. And that comes from her not like just telling what's his name, Colin, that she wants to go to the Bone Zone, or doesn't want to go to the Bone Zone.
He doesn't want to be used like that. Also, that would mean that they had to have him in another scene. And he was only in that scene?
Two scenes. There's the morgue and there's his house.
Yeah.
She's a very
it's more time.
Actually. She's a very complex woman.
Keep her away from your kids and she's a bad doctor too. Okay. So
she's learning. Maybe she'll be a terrific doctor. Take a drink break. Okay.
Okay. We then cut to the morgue where Colin has been waiting to help Joanna Going with her take-home exam. She's late. He says it's really fucking rude to be late.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm going through some stuff. Okay.
And it's only been an hour and a half.
I cannot imagine. I would have been out of there so fast. Like, fuck off. If you want my help, if you're late, that's fine. There's a certain reasonable amount of things that could happen that could make people late. But if you're just having a fucking pity party and you show up 90 minutes late, for me to help you do something, I am out of there. I'm out of there. Which he does. Eventually.
After he shows her what they were there to learn. How to identify the bones in a hand by some dirty mnemonic. To which
Some lovers try positions that they can't handle. I looked it up. It's a real mnemonic device that is used.
Did she ever complete hers? She tried to come up with a PG one, and she can't and he's left. But that's all he was fucking showing her. He could have drawn it on a photocopy.
Yeah.
And
doesn't she have a textbook that has these bones?
None of them have textbooks. None of them.
No, Charlie does. He's carrying them around all the time.
Well, then why doesn't he know the answers?
I don't know. Because he's too stressed out. He's stressed out. He's not sleeping because there's somebody following him.
Black man on the island. There's a black man on the Caribbean island. He has a black neighbor and he's scared. He has economic anxiety, people. That's why Uncle Charlie voted for Donald Trump. That's why Uncle Charlie is dead in Florida and unreported.
Oh, dear God.
Okay. So Colin pieces out. He's just like, all right, dude, figure it the fuck out. Like, this is not a way to treat somebody.
Yeah.
Out he goes. She makes a harump face.
Yeah. But keep in mind, he was the bastard last episode, and she gave him a hard time about it, and then he turned it around.
Yes.
So now the tables have turned. Does she turn it around? Let's find out.
But first, we're going to cut to Alex and Moran, which is how I was referring to Charlie in my notes, but it looked like moron from here, which was pretty funny. But yes, Charlie's out on the deck studying. Alex arrives with a stolen centrifuge from the labs.
Yeah.
Charlie then tells Alex about this letter he got from home about how his old hockey team, they've all become carpenter and they all build a house in a couple days where people live.
Yeah, like 4 days or something.
So these guys went on to become speechwriters for a Republican, basically, kind of, maybe. Yeah, like these were McCain speechwriters or something, like, just like, yes, they build houses like Christ built houses. And then Charlie, who his friends sent a single condom.
Yeah, that was creepy.
He then gives it to Alex and says, I won't be needing this. So then Charlie goes in and brushes his teeth, and we get a long shot of that, which gave me time to think about how these symbolic giving people one condom, it implies that you are not having sex again. Or is it a single tryout? But then you would still be screwed because you don't have another condom.
I don't know. I can say that Alex refuses the condom. Says, no, keep it. You never know what's going to happen. Which, again, in my mind, planted the seed that this person stalking him in the background, who we still haven't met yet, was going to be some beautiful island woman, right? Some mystical island fairy who was going to, I don't know, pop his cherry or something. I mean, I don't know. The condom thing is so weird because, I don't know. It's just fucking weird, bro. I don't know. I don't understand, man.
Right? These shows, like, this is the thing about these young people, young professional, sexy young professional shows. There's a reason that Grey's Anatomy has been on for 50 fucking years. It's because, and I only watched one episode of Grey's Anatomy. I watched the pilot and was like, what the fuck?
One more than me.
Nope. But still, it's a nighttime soap, right? Yeah. It's a nighttime soap mixed with a medical procedural. This has none of the medical procedural whatsoever. It has Voodoo Kid who's there to support Joanna Going being a big sad about her boyfriend moving on. But so, like, it took them a long time to find the right balance. And I'm glad that Grey's Anatomy was the solution and not, I guess, a reality show about them or something. But the growing pains to get to the product are incredible to see. It is rough. I'm just sitting here going, why is this happening? And I'm like, oh, it's because it's for ABC's audience, and they think ABC's audience is young and hip. And CBS, you could have like a multi-generational cast because it was just grandparents watching it anyway. So we're getting screwed by ABC again, is what I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Okay. Charlie brushes his teeth. He hears a noise outside. He hides. And then he looks out and there's nothing there. But then we see POV looking in at him, taking his fucking shirt off. Cool. Commercial break.
Yeah. Can I say something about Charlie? Yes. His characterization in this is much less nebbish than it was the first episode. He is much less of a stereotype, and it's more just he's high strung.
Yes. He's incredibly high strung.
Yeah.
It's a little bit against type because, again, Andy Lauer's a shorter guy, but he's fit, as we just saw. So, like, it's kind of weird because, you would assume this characterization would have been given to Alex, who had some of it last episode. This episode, don't worry, folks. They're not going to be doing any Fleischman-esque characterizations based on his potential Jewish background. Alex is just going to be a fucking racist asshole.
Yeah, so keep this in the back of your mind, folks. He has said that he's got this Caribbean thing down, and yet when he's actually dealing with people living and working on the island that he's talking about, he's fucking clueless and cannot just go with the flow.
He can't even be momentarily polite.
And I'm sure that this happened with Fleischman. I can't recall on Northern Exposure, except it was part of the joke. Was that he would say, oh, I think I'm finally getting this down. And then something ridiculous would happen. And he'd be like, ugh, like it would immediate comedic payoff. And this has none of that. It's just him being an asshole to people.
Such an asshole. Such an incredible asshole. But first, we have to have Erica Alexander's one scene before the end.
Yes.
She's, I think, having the one one banana daiquiri that got made, or she's having orange juice. She's either drinking her breakfast or she's not.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter because she's just there for when Alex realizes he broke the centrifuge to be like, I'm not part of this plot. Have fun.
Yeah. I mean, it was legitimately the only funny thing that happened. Yeah. It was her being like, I didn't even know it was here. Bye.
Bye. Okay. So we then cut to the clinic where this is where Joanna Going tells the mom, says, do you know what a spoon is? And demonstrates it. And then she goes over to Carl Lumley and goes, hey, you were wrong about that baby. It was back in a day, not two. And Carl Lumley's like, dumb natives, am I right? And it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, what kind of bedside manner would you be teaching? It's a learning experience.
And why aren't you there next to her so the mom doesn't have to come back with the baby, so the baby isn't more sick? Like, why aren't you there helping
her? The story is about her learning from him. Like, not her not doing medicine and fucking her and then endangering the life of a child. Okay, so then Jacob and Mom are back.
Yeah, and he's jumped off of something higher.
10 meters.
10 meters. A tree? I don't remember exactly what it was.
So he's got a scrape on the knee, basically. Mom explains that he spends all of his time staring at the sea when he has goats to squeeze. And he better listen to the doctor, woman.
Yeah.
That is not the accent or the lines. There are some direct quotes, but that is not.
We don't need to go there.
A quarter of what is said. So then Joanna Going dismisses mom's concerns about bad spirits. And says, Jacob, are you going to do it again? And she says, don't jump again. And he nods. And then she disinfects it. We now cut to Alex and his friend, his black friend from last episode.
Is it the same guy?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think Ron, Ray, whatever his name was.
No, Ray was the guy on Joe's Life. I don't remember.
Did they have more than one name for a black character on an ABC show from 1992 to 1996?
Anyway, he's got a friend who is a native of the island and taking him around the city to try to find him somebody who can fix this machine. He knows just the guy. And
you thought it was going to be his cousin?
I thought it was going to be a cousin. It was not a cousin. There were no cousins this episode. But I'm still not convinced it's the same actor. I could be wrong.
I mean, we did not do our work reading the credits, and it is not on IMDb. So we would have to do some work.
I'm not going to do any work.
Okay.
It's my day off.
I don't think. Okay. So Alex is doing this whole, like, you made an appointment, right? You made an appointment. And he's just being super condescending. And then he's like, well, he's just a mechanic. He can't be very busy. And he's like, and Ron or Ray is like, what do you mean, dude? He has the same job you do. He's like, no, he doesn't. He's a mechanic. I'm a doctor. He fixes things or something. Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, dude. Like, you're not just more important because you. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the phone call. Joanna Going is making a person-to-person call to Duluth, Minnesota, to talk to her boy Daniel. The operator can't get the name right, so Joanna Going has to clarify it's Daniel with a D.
Twice. I'm going to say this once, 2 times. Daniel with a D. Daniel with a D.
With a D.
Yes. As in disaster. That's right.
Making a Daniel with the D joke.
No.
We are making a joke about how the writers on this show couldn't think of a fucking name that actually had a funny rhyme. It's 1992. Bart Simpson had been doing the fucking prank phone calls for 2 years. It might have been in the fucking Christmas special. Like, you can't not do, like, this is basic competency shit.
Yeah.
Like,
listeners, if you know any name that rhymes with Daniel but starts with another letter,
Daniel,
let us know.
Daniel,
write to us at Onesies Podcast, P.O. Box. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. So there's that. Kim is in the background with his baby goat asking for the nipple bottle.
Oh, right.
And
I forgot he was in this scene.
And he's just shirtless and asking for the nipple bottle.
He's never going to wear a shirt. I'm sorry.
He's never going to have a subplot again either. Like, he clearly did something and pissed somebody off. Because he is not in this. And he went from being the moose to not even being in this show.
Yeah, he's not even in it.
But it's just Joanna Going's freaking out, man. She can't make phone calls to Minnesota. Cut to the mechanic. The mechanic, who does not appear to be...
He looks white.
Looks white.
Was I wrong about that?
And then he breaks his accent at the end to say, hey, I'm not a Jamaican, man. I'm a white guy. I got you. To Alex, after Alex has a flip out about getting the centrifuge.
Fucking meltdown about how it needs to be fixed. Needs to be fixed by tomorrow. I'm going to pay you money, even though I don't have any money. Thank you. Yeah.
And then the punchline is the mechanic is a white guy. And he's
putting on an accent.
He's putting on an accent. And Ron Ray is okay. This is still his friend.
Yes.
He's okay with cultural appropriation on this level.
Hey man, what can you do?
Go to Joe, who fixes shit, and not hang out with this guy. Okay, we then cut to Kathleen at a payphone in the fucking rain.
Pouring rain with goats at her feet. At least 3.
She will massage various things around the phone booth very
She's
pensively.
doing everything but twirling her hair in her fingers. She is having...
So kids, there was a show called Red Shoe Diaries, which was weekly softcore porn with David Duchovny as the narrator.
And you were just the right age for that, weren't you?
Yes, I was, except I didn't have cable.
Oh.
But the other thing you did was you turned it to the channel and you hit the TV till the lines came in. This is a trailer for a Red Shoe Diary episode. It's about how Joanna Going, it wants to fuck in the rain. This is every Ashley Judd movie.
Incredibly flirtatious over the phone with her ex-boyfriend.
ASMR just through the fucking roof.
It was like quite the characterization.
I am just like, it's terrible. It's god awful. It's weird. It's god awful. The only way it could work is if this were a stalker movie, which would also be problematic. But if Joanna Going turns out to be a fucking psychopath, if she Marsha crosses like in Melrose Place, Kimberly Melrose Place is it, then this show could be great. I mean, it'll be terrible and racist, but at least they would be committing to the bit of just, oh my God. But yeah, so there's some choice lines I wrote down. You go rent a tux. I'll go study. Some things never change. Have a nice wedding. Wish I could be there.
Yeah.
Why does she want to be at the wedding? Does she want to be the wife? She should have said something about being the wife.
We missed the explanation that she gives Erica Alexander when she first reads the letter. And it's that they broke up 6 months ago and she thought they should be mature and be friends. And I jokingly said that if either one of us ever got married, we should invite each other to the wedding, but I didn't actually mean it. So she's trying to be mature through her emotions about still being hung up on the guy. Really
hung up on him. Fucking.
No mention of this until this episode, though. I mean, I know we only had one episode before, but there was nothing established before that she had left a boyfriend.
Okay, we then cut to school where Charlie is sneaking around, but then has to go see Carl Lumley about his test, and Charlie failed.
An open book test.
He's like, you failed your take-home open book test. Charlie's like, yeah, it was hard. And he's like, what? And so many questions.
And this is when Charlie reveals, I'm not sleeping and I've got somebody stalking me and I don't know what's going on. And I excuse.
Carl Lumley's like, suck it the fuck up. Retest next week. Count some sheep. That's it. All right. We now cut to the mechanic. Alex is back without Ron Ray. And guy doesn't have.
The guy is playing dominoes.
Yep.
With
drinking beers.
another man and drinking beer. And so he's like, "Oh, well, you must have my stuff done if you're playing dominoes." And he's like, "Nope, sorry, I'll have it for you tomorrow. I don't have the parts."
Imagine going into your mechanic and saying, "You guys are having a cup of coffee. You must have my stuff done."
No.
Nope.
Okay. I can't imagine that.
Weird. I'd love to see the target audience demographics on this from ABC. We are making shows for assholes.
Entitled white assholes.
Oh my God. What if they were just like, we are trying to make shows for yuppies? Okay.
I mean, and it begs the question, is this how he treats people back he's the one from Chicago. Is this how he treats people back in Chicago?
I mean,
anybody
Peter
in the service industry.
Peter Griffin terrorist meme, skin color terrorist meme thing. Yeah, no, he brown bag tests it. Like, yeah, he's a piece of shit. Like, and we're just getting it hammered in here.
Yeah.
We're going to get to him being a piece of shit white savior, but we're not there yet. The natives haven't earned his grace yet.
Because he still has a broken thing.
This is a broke, stupid, rich white kid who doesn't have any money because his parents can't get a hold of him because they don't give a shit even to like he's a fucking it's about this loser imposing his will on people because he can, thanks to white supremacy, colonialism, and TV writing. Like, I mean, at some point you're just like, this is how Black Hawk Down started. Like, this is how a terrified like thing start. Like, it's the start of a really problematic exploitation movie. Like,
yeah.
Okay. But then we never get it. We never get them fucking killing him with voodoo, which also would make this show. The show ends with them all getting fucking murdered. Okay. I'm sure we'll have an episode where they will tell me which voodoo priest or priestess to pray to for such an eventuality.
Yeah.
But not quite this episode, but it's been teased. Okay. We now cut to Kathleen, Joanna Going getting drunk on the beach by herself.
Yes, because her ex-boyfriend is getting married, remember.
And this chick is probably pretty. She's pretty. She might be prettier.
Pretty.
What if she's prettier than me?
Oh.
I have no value. He used his one... Wait a second. We had one condom. And he has another girl. How does this work?
Every girl gets one condom. That's it.
But you might want to have one again, the same one again, Emily.
Then you don't use a condom, Andrew. Duh. Oh, so that's how you know you're in love.
This is what I was asking. It's once, or is it one try? Then you gotta marry that one, or it's one try. Then you just gotta get married. The next one you gotta marry. You used up your one condom from. He's not from Duluth, but from somewhere. Okay. Do you want to talk about Sean Connery, or do you want me to talk about it?
You know, I didn't find it as problematic as you. I mean, it's not great. He's Professor what's his name, and he's got a young, beautiful lady with him. Her
parents put her in my trust to show her the sights. I like young girls. The younger, the better. I'm going to fuck her. Do you want to join us for a threesome where we could fuck Joanna Going? No. Maybe next time? Yes, maybe next time. Cool. Peace out. I'm going to fuck this young girl.
And Joanna Going gives him the bottle of booze.
Yes. So there's
no consent involved. That's great.
Right.
Okay, never mind. It's problematic. I take it all back. She doesn't look underage. I guess
it doesn't matter. That's the beauty of fucking young girls. You can always tell the daddy issues. Like, it's really fucked. He's an old soap opera star on his one shot on the network primetime. He is a fucking guest star on a Perry Mason TV movie. Like, it's weird. It's so fucking weird. And Joanna Going doesn't just co-sign it. She's like, next time, me too. Silver fucking great grandpa. Like, fucking Wilford Brimley fuck daddy. Like, God. Ugh.
I'm going to get you a shirt that says Wilford Brimley fuck daddy now.
100%. 100%. You should get me that shirt. You can email us. Email us at wilfordbrimleyfuckdaddy.com. Seriously, you didn't have a problem with this. This was incredible.
It was, I mean, it's definitely problematic. I don't think I was paying close enough attention. I think that's my problem. I'm tired. like the show is meh. And I think at some point I stopped paying attention.
He talks about being seen in a young girl's eyes.
Yeah.
And Joanna Going's like, yeah, that fucking rocks, which is problematic considering, I wasn't going to go there with she shouldn't be left unattended with a minor, but, at least she only wanted to jump into the fucking ocean with them. We're not there yet, but we're getting close. Okay. Alex goes to the next fix-it man. Joe, the fix-it man. Joe will fix it today. Joe has got a long line. Joe wants to get his people. He's doing basic customer service. He's showing great boundaries. Like,
if
you've ever been in a tense situation like this, like Alex Karen's like a motherfucker. Like, wow, he should give lessons.
There's a line of people. Does he cut in front of them?
There's the implication. I think Joe says, how'd you get to the front of the line so fast? So that's implied. There was probably a cut scene that was too racist.
He insists, like, you say you're going to get this done. I need you to show me the part that you have to fix it. So he shows him the part. He's like, get your screwdriver, put it in, fix it now. It was so intense.
Fucked up.
It was really messed up. It's like, white man doesn't want to take responsibility for his own actions. He stole this thing, using it to make daiquiris, broke it, and now is panicking to fix it. What's the saying? An emergency, a lack of preparation on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. You fucking asshole. You need to take responsibility for the fact that you fucked this shit up and just tell the guy. It's not like the guy's going to yell at you. Well, maybe if you're making daiquiris.
Well, here's the other thing. It could be a bonding thing. Mm-hmm. Carl Lumley could be like, dude, that always happens when I make daiquiris in this thing.
Yeah.
That's why I trade out this part. And then they have a fucking daiquiri together.
They have a daiquiri together, teaches them how to fix it when it breaks, and then yay.
Yeah, there's
happy
something. Carl Lumley's not in it that much. Carl Lumley's got a haircut, though. He's got a very nice flat top.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the part where so Alex is yelling at a bunch of people in line, and he's like, stand back, stand away from me. And the dude's like, I just need to get my toaster fixed. And it's like, you're getting your blender fixed, bitch. He's got a toaster. That's how, probably need toast more than you need blending. Just saying.
Yeah, but he didn't steal the blender from his professor and toaster. That's what I meant. Sorry.
We then cut to, something. You see the other natives watching the scene, and I swear one of the guys realized how fucking problematic it was.
Oh, I didn't notice
as he was an extra. He looks away for a second. You're just like, I mean, this is fucked. This is, hey, let's go down the street and be in a TV show. We like those TV shows. Holy shit. This is what the Americans are actually doing. That guy's just being a motherfucker. Like, why would this be a show? Do we kill him now?
I wonder if it's just like, oh yeah, we see this shit all the time when they come down here on vacation. They pull this shit all the time. This entitled shit. Okay. While they're getting their hair braided, they pull this shit.
We then cut to Charlie on the beach trying to sleep. This seems very much like it's a teaser moment. Like
this was what was on the
quirky. Yeah.
This was what was on the thing last week, the preview for the next episode last week, when he's sleeping on the beach and then there's a figure in the background. That's exactly what was being teased.
He wakes up. He sees a figure in the background. The figure has dreadlocks. Charlie runs away.
Yeah.
Because he saw a black guy on a Caribbean island.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me, but he's stressed out. No, I'm not going to justify his behavior. I'm not justifying his behavior. Sorry. I was just about to justify it, and I'm not going to. That's not what this is about.
No.
No.
It's fucking raw. It's like...
But I feel like this happens in Northern Exposure, a similar thing, where Fleischman
Does it happen with a moose, though?
where Fleischman can't sleep and like he starts hallucinating. He starts kind of losing his mind, but it's really just Ed who keeps climbing through the window or whatever, just walking in, because Ed does that. That's one of his things is he just like shows up, scares the shit out of everybody because he just like shows up in a doorway unannounced. But it's about, whatever.
Yeah.
This is problematic, especially because there's like no resolution. We don't find out who it is. We don't find out what he's doing.
Does he feed the black man?
He gives him a hot dog.
Does he feed him his hot dog without mustard but has jerk sauce on it? Yeah, he does. Yeah. But first we're going to cut to Colleen visiting Colin, who's studying it.
Kathleen
visiting Colin.
Yeah. Who's in his house studying. He looks at his watch. We discover it's just before midnight. What are you doing here, Kathleen? Why are you here?
Because you don't have a phone, because you're a hippie. Can you invite me in? Then invites her in. Mm-hmm. She sees his sign that says Serres les dents, French saying, grit your teeth, that we discover Colin's father, the farmer, sent him when Colin didn't make it into...
his transfer to an American school did not go through.
So Dad seems supportive, but Colin is doing this because he can't afford it the other way. He's not doing it because he can't cut it the other way.
Yeah. Okay.
Then my note is this a booty call? And yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the whole, like, you're such a complicated woman scene where, I don't know if you want to be friends with me or if you want me to be your tutor or what. And she's like, what if I don't know? And he's like, just don't come to my house at midnight and disturb my neighbors. And she fucking leaves.
And no booty call.
No booty call for her. But if she had pulled the shit she pulled on the phone, I don't think he would have fucking cared. I think he would have been like, all right, let's do this. I'm down to pound, baby. But no, she did not have her feminine wiles about her.
Okay. We then cut to Alex and Kim in the morning.
Yes.
Kim believes Alex about seeing a black man on the island.
That's Charlie, not Alex.
Whatever. Okay, it's not the actively hostily racist one. It's the one who doesn't realize he's racist because he's scared of seeing a black person outside of the single context he sees the black person, who is Carl Lumley, apparently. Okay, hold on. Anyway, not going to wow this show.
Him has something, I believe you. This happened to me once, and I saw the Minotaur, and then he talks about Greek mythology a little bit. Theseus had to kill the Minotaur, so they didn't have to do all of these sacrifices anymore to him. And I saw him and nobody believed me. And Charlie gives him a look like, what the fuck are you talking about? A Minotaur. What are you talking about? And that's the extent of Kim's presence on the show.
Yep. He does not show up for the cookout later.
No.
Okay. We then cut to the boy on the roof again. He's watching a girl get eggs. He falls through on her, breaks 10 eggs, we find out. The children are uninjured, but they end up at the doctor's, where Joanna Going has the line, I'm a doctor, not a traffic cop. And it's like, go off.
So,
one person in the writer's room who was like, Star Trek reference!
So the farmer whose daughter was collecting eggs, and Jacob and his mother are arguing. Jacob's mother and the farmer are arguing about broken eggs. He's trying to steal the eggs, blah, 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 blah. Joanna Going is like, whoop, we're not going to do this. I can't do this right now. I'm going to take Jacob. We're going to go for a little walk outside. You guys stay here, and I'm going to talk to him. They go on a little walk. They're 50 feet away. And is this where Jacob admits? Yes, this is where Jacob is like, I just want this little girl to look at me. Like, she never looks at me. I'm desperately in love with her. I don't know how old Jacob is, but he's 9, 10, maybe. And she never looks at me, and I just need to show her that I'm strong. So we discover that he is purposefully jumping off of things to prove his strength, so she will give him the time of day.
Presumably, the girl is the girl with the eggs.
Yes, that's what As soon as I saw her, I was like, that's what this is about.
Yeah, that's what this is about.
Yeah.
But I expected her to have something to do. She does not.
No, she stands
because the object of your affection, if you don't interact with them, it makes for a much better.
I mean, that's how I got all the men I've gotten. It's just, you don't pay them any attention, don't interact with them at all, and they come running. That's the lesson I learned. Instead of having a conversation, finding out what people's interests are, doing nice things for them, making them feel like you care. I don't know.
So Joanna Going's like, well, you can't be jumping off rooftops for a girl, Jacob. And he's like,
yeah.
But she fills my eye. And Joanna Going's like, oh my God, that's the scene in the movie where I think about Danny. And then she gives him a hug. And I wrote down inappropriate touching. Cut to the other repair shop. Alex apologizes to Joe the Fix-It Man for being so rude and racist yesterday. Joe, what are you doing in this shithole country when you can have a shop on the corner of Michigan and Chestnut, and all my friends will bring their shit in and you can fix it? They break this shit before lunch on Christmas. You'll be rich. Joe says, more customers means less time to fish. So Alex also says, all of my friends on the Gold Coast in Chicago. And I, despite growing up in the Chicago area, despite working with people who lived on the Gold Coast, I don't remember if that's like a appropriately ritzy reference or not. However, the corner of Michigan Avenue and Chestnut, you can fucking look at on Google Maps, and that is the corner that Water Tower Place is on. So he's telling Joe to open a shop kitty corner from the ritziest mall in America or something. It's stupid. It's so stupid. Alex leaves, and somebody comes in to play dominoes with Joe.
Yeah.
And Alex is like, wow, these colonials just don't know what they're missing. Okay. So we then go to the beach, where I really was hoping this was the last scene, but it wasn't. Instead, they talk about they're having hot dogs. It's Cheryl, Alex, Charlie, and Joanna Going.
Yes.
We've lost Kim. Colin has not been invited to play in their reindeer games.
No.
Is this going to be the core cast going forward? We shall see. They talk about Klaus Van Bülow. Does Alex say that he understands how Klaus Van Bülow could poison his wife to get her money?
I think so.
He broke the centrifuge, so he understands.
I think he said. I think that's exactly what he's saying. Yeah.
We're not actually kidding about that. This isn't a bit like we didn't consult on this. Yeah, that is actually how that plays.
Yeah.
And then Charlie needs to go read. He sees the voodoo man and walks up to them and offers him his hot dog. Voodoo man takes the hot dog. Charlie then turns to tell his friends that he did in fact see a black man in the Caribbean.
And in a moment that I never expected, turns around and he's gone. What a mystery.
So, if that were the end, that would be something. But, like I said, when I texted you to say somehow they keep making it fucking worse, the next morning, early, implying there's a scene where Joanna Going coaxes young Jacob out of his house without his mother's knowledge. They go for a walk on the rocks next to the ocean. This is where Jacob says, "Why did you bring me up here so early in the morning?" Woman doctor, doctor woman. She says, "Jacob, 10,000 years ago, a beautiful slave woman." Why are you cringing?
Oh.
This is from the Emmy-winning writers of Northern Exposure. Why are you cringing?
Go on.
Fell in love with a handsome French soldier.
Was there France 10,000 years ago?
No.
Okay. Continue.
Then the Great War came. He had to go fight.
Wait, World War I was...
Shush. He said goodbye to her right here on these rocks. Oh, wow. Apple corrected that to these rogs. He never returned, to which Jacob says he found another woman. And she says, no,
he died.
But to this day, 10,000 years later, after Johnny Goodboy has defeated Xenu, the ghost of that slave woman and that soldier, and that French soldier, meet in these sea mists, giving advice to those in love. It says, "Which war?" Joanna Going says, "I don't know. That's not the point of my story. The point of my story is I'm mentally abusive." So you tell them what you're thinking, Jacob. You can tell the ghosts. To which my note is then, is she telling the kid how to eat, pray, love? But no, because this isn't about the black kid that probably thinks he's about to get abused. It's about Danny. Why did you go and have to get married, Danny? You'd like Danny, Jacob. He's my ex-boyfriend. He's into Matchbox cars. I used to be the prettiest and the smartest and the best, but now I'm not anymore. Elizabeth is. To which Jacob says, "Who's Elizabeth?" He says, "Who is Elizabeth?" Yeah. Is this a moment that is gonna lead to Joanna Going learning something about bedside manner? Well, no. Jacob says, "Marta's never gonna love me, is she?" Joanna Going says, she may not, but either way, don't let it hold you back. They stand up, they jump into the fucking ocean together.
Holding hands.
Holding hands.
Very inappropriate. I wrote down inappropriate conversations with kids. Also, using a 10-something-year-old as emotional support to get you through a hard time.
As an emotional support animal.
God.
Just wowza.
It was really rough. That was rough.
Wow. That was
rough enough that even though I suspected there was going to be next week on Going to Extremes, I turned it off. I was like, that's enough for today.
I turned it off too. There is, I think Charlie's dad shows up and he's a rich guy. So it appears to be a familiar guest star. Right. I could be wrong. We'll find out.
So next week, Trials and Tribulations, episode 3. I don't have a cast list because I'm on Wikipedia and not IMDb. But it doesn't matter because who cares?
We're watching it anyway.
Great pick, Andrew. Great pick.
Yeah, you know what? You know what, Emily?
At least Joe's life was only 22 minutes long.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
It's okay.
Now.
It's okay. I'm just giving you a hard time.
What if had we acknowledged the warning signs to this, it would have caused a confrontation with Northern Exposure's legacy.
Yeah, that's okay.
Or not, because really I think it's possibly more the Melrose Place guys' involvement. But whatever, there's only 15 more, Emily.
Only 15 more. We can do it. We can do it. Okay.
Wilford Brimley, fuck daddy, will be back next week.
Oh, gross. All right. Thank you all for listening. See you next time on Onesies when we discuss episode 3 of Going to Extremes, Trials and Tribulations. Andrew, see you in Television Land.
See you on television land, Emily.